This episode of the Flush Podcast is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism. Start planning your fall hunt in North Dakota at legendary.com. I'm currently watching the sunset on the Prairie while filming our first hunt of the season. There's excitement and optimism that comes with every opening day adventure, but on this hunt, our first walk and excitement quickly turned to terror. Stick around to find out why on our podcast, Live from the Prairie. Welcome to another episode of the Flush Podcast. I'm Travis Frank. I'm your host. Brandon Morton is our producer, but I have no idea where Brandon is right now because I'm recording this episode live from the Prairie. Actually, the wind is blowing a little bit too hard outside right now, so we're recording inside my ice shack, which has now become our bird camp. Sitting next to me in the dinette of my Ice Castle Fish House is Josh Bathke, the featured hunter of our first episode of the season. Josh, would you like to explain where we're camping right now?
Yeah, we're just at one of the dams out in the middle of the grasslands. Something I look forward to every fall. It's just my place to get away and detach from the world for, a couple, 2-3 weeks at a time. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, and to be a little bit more specific, we're sitting in the Fort Pierre National Grasslands, which is 20 miles south of Pierre, South Dakota. I mean, and it's a big chunk of land that we're out here hunting right now. Open to the public. When we pulled up, there were other campers in this same area, and we've been hearing gunshots the last 2 days. We're in the middle of the week right now. This is the first week of the season, and hunters are... I don't know. None of them are from South Dakota. You might be the only South Dakota.
Yeah, I might be the only one. I know there was a couple other guys, but yeah, you first everybody. I think with being cooped up inside, there was a extra want to get out and just do things, and you could really see people flock out her. I think.
Oh my goodness, it felt so good to drive out here and drop this thing down and just stretch out and look outside, but just the anticipation of that first walk, right? The excitement that comes, and this is your first hunt of the year too, right?
Yep, this is my first hunt. I think actually if you watch our governor, she put an ad out about this is how we social distance in South Dakota, and that's pretty true out here.
Yeah, your governor is, we were planning a hunt that we were going to film with her at her family ranch because she grew up as a bird hunter out here, and the talks have been ongoing. Obviously, this year is very unique, as everybody knows. So, but she's a hunter too. And anyway, here we are, and we are. So we're sitting in my fish house right now, which is basically an RV. And right next to us is your 97 Ford ambulance?
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
It is an ambulance, and it still has the stripes. It looks like an ambulance other than having the red and blue lights taken off of. So.
Yep. And we posted a couple of photos on our social media pages and said a couple of people mentioned that you're giving a new meaning to the term meat wagon.
Yep. It's actually kind of fun because you just can go wherever in it,
right.
There's no limitations like, can I get down that road? Ambulances are kind of meant to go everywhere, and it just happened when I was looking for a camper to be out here as my dog. I started getting more dogs, and I was just like, here's an opportunity to buy this, and it just kind of happened.
Well, how long have you had this now?
This is year number 7, so this is my 7th season in it. So.
Okay, and how many years have you been hunting the grasslands?
About 12. I think Trump was 2 when I brought him out here, so that was the first trip.
What did you do to it? Because I can go into detail, but I'd rather have you explain what it looked like when you picked this thing up and now what it looks like today.
So outside, cosmetically, it's still pretty much 100% ambulance. However, on the inside, I completely tore everything out except for like the front 2 seats. They stayed. I did actually take them out just to make it so it was more movable when I was trying to build it, and I just bolted them right back in. But I completely gutted it. insulated the sidewalls, cut some of the boxes out, modified some things, and turned it into the ultimate 2-guy hunting rig.
That's a good way to describe it.
It's not spacious, but it's functional, and it's never going to win any beauty contest, but it's going to win some.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
It's going to go. Anybody that's out here doing this is going to be like, yeah, that's kind of sweet. It's got it's practical for this application.
It really is. I mean, we've had a couple people pull over and say, what in the world? And then they kind of take a second glance and they get it instantly. Yeah. You've got 3 kennels built in the back, right? So your dogs have the kennels there. You've got a refrigerator, freezer. You've got 2 bunks in there. Pretty much all the hunting. I mean, one of the doors that probably held, emergency tools has shotgun shells of every kind. I mean, it is pimped out. Yeah. It is pimped out. We kind of did a cribs version of the hunting rig for the show, so I'm excited to show you guys that. But
I'm gonna have to show my buddy, actually, in a text message. They made a comment of one of the pictures, and my buddy's like, do you think they're going to do a cribs of the ambulance? And I was like, yes, they did.
Yes, they did. What do you call it? What's the nickname?
Manbulance, just because it's all things that are man,
Yeah.
Not that a female would ever want to.
You get the right one.
You get the right one, you would, but you're pretty much roughing it. There's no toilet, so you're out and about, It's rough.
Well, I would say we're not roughing it right now. This is a pretty sweet place to be.
Yeah, it is.
Piece
of paradise.
It is paradise. Yesterday, we got ready. The anticipation was high, and we start going out. I mean, so we're camped right in the middle. I mean, we can basically load our shotguns right here at our campsite and start hunting. That's the beauty of this place that we're at. I'll back up before we leave here to our hunt. The Pierre National Grassland is open to the public. You can camp in designated areas,
Correct.
Which is where we're at right now. And I don't remember. Do you know how many acres this is?
Yeah, I want to say it's in that 200,000, give or take a little bit, as far as total acreage for the grasslands. I mean, it's a big hunk of ground.
Yeah. So we can see basically grassland almost as far as the eye can see in a few of the directions. It's shortgrass prairie, right? I mean, they do have some cattle that come out here and graze different sections of it. That's part of the management of this grassland. But there are sharp-tailed grouse, there are prairie chickens, and there are pheasants out here. And we'll tell you the numbers here shortly. It's worth sticking around for. But let's get to really I think yesterday might be the most... I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, but of all the days we spent in the field this year, yesterday was emotional, it was scary, it was all the things you never want to experience as a hunter, probably. We left our campsite and we started walking, and we made it about 50 yards, 100 yards, something like that, and we flushed a covey of grouse or prairie chickens, and the excitement was high, and it was like, all right, here we go. I could see it in your eyes. It was just a matter of when am I going to pull the trigger for the first time. And we went to the next ridge, and you said, and I remember saying, Josh, what are the chances that we see a bird on top of this next ridge? And you said
80%, I think. And I was like, I mean, I knew that just from hunting that there's a good chance, time of day, paying attention to that, is that there was going to be, a covey there. There ended up being a single. And
there was a single, right? That bird flushed just out of range. We didn't take a shot. In hindsight, I maybe could have hit it. Maybe it was borderline, but first bird, you just kind of say, that's all right. And we were just,
there'll be more,
Yeah, there's going to be more. There's going to be more. And about maybe 5 minutes later,
that's when the world turned upside down.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, we kind of, from that spot, I always like to kind of zigzag across the set of ridges, and we zigged to where, I've literally walked that piece of ground probably, I don't want to say 100 times, but I mean 30 or 40 times, throughout. Never, ever had or seen a snake, and, within 2 seconds of my dog stopping and kind of going into the wind, we're kind of working with the wind at her back, so she was quartering out and coming back at us, and I saw her slow down, and I heard the wind up of the rattle, and I yelled no at the top of my lungs as loud as I could, and I saw the dog jump back, and my heart stopped. You gets real quick, and all of a sudden, you absolutely love doing something you love doing, and you never want to see one of your dogs have that issue, but you plan, you prep for that situation as best you can, and she got hit right on her left front of her face, kind of right by her nostrils. You could see there was a little bit of blood coming out. Thankfully, it was a big snake. We talk about. I don't think there was a ton of venom because she didn't swell up at all. It
wasn't instant swelling.
No.
But it was obvious. Yep, you could see that where she got hit there.
Yeah. But it wasn't like some of the pictures you see where the dog's head, is the size of a football or a basketball where they get hit. And there was a little bit of swelling, and she didn't wince or anything when I was pushing on it as we were out in the field. And it was just kind of one of those things where I've never been shaking, and I was honestly shaking. Like even when
the three of us were, we all were for sure. Yeah. I mean, you weren't the only one.
And as we came back, I was okay. I'm trying to think, Josh, you have to stay positive. You think things are going to be okay, and I think I was in pretty good shape because she was still acting normal till we got back. You saw me check her snout several times on the way back.
I'll even say before that, so it happened quick. It was. I mean, it's all on camera, so we can look at it. But it was a matter of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. The whole thing was over. The whole thing. There was no stopping that dog. It happened too late. The snake had already coiled up and struck the dog. You were there instantly saying, no! And you hit the button to get her to jump back, but it was already at that point too late. And so then you went into, and I don't even know if you remember this, but you went into this you went straight to the dog, right? The dog jumped back several feet, right? And this is a big rattlesnake, but the dog jumped right back, and you had the dog, and you instantly took your vest off. Yep. You grabbed the Benadryl, right? And I remember seeing you, and I was like, I was just kind of, I didn't know what to do, what I needed to do to help, but it was all happening really quick. And so you had the syringe, and I was like, man, Josh has this, he's ready for this, right?
Yeah, you talk to 100 guys, everyone's going to say, oh, your dog gets hit by a snake, carry liquid Benadryl.
Yep.
I've carried it.
Children's Benadryl, right?
Yep, children's Benadryl. I've carried it out here for 11 years. Hey, if your dog gets hit by a snake, give it. Along with and I should also preference, my dogs are all snake vaccinated. So there's a vaccine that you can do annually, just like a booster shot for distemper, rabies. Their first year they get a shot, and then 1 month later they get another one. And 30 days after the shot, they should be good to go. And then it's just a yearly booster after that. And they've all had that every year. So, that's step one to that prevention. It's okay, if this happens, they have the snake vaccine. So
you gave her the Benadryl, and we came back to the campsite, and you were on the phone with the vet right away. Mm-hmm. You took her into the vet. What did she say when you got there?
She was like, why did you give the dog Benadryl? And I'm like, because every hunter I've ever dealt with, and that's what you do, And apparently, I gave her, essentially, I thought half the bottle, but when you're doing that, it's just you're shaking, and I did not do a good job of getting it all in her mouth. So probably by the time it was all said and done, it was.
I would guess, from what I saw, maybe a quarter.
Yeah, and that's probably why I went with that second shot. Is that for I was just so
adrenaline.
Yeah, it's like, okay, hey, gotta calm down, gotta do this, and so she was actually more concerned, because I said, hey, the dog had its snake shot. It was the first part of August, August 2nd, I think. So I knew that was good. She was more concerned about the Benadryl causing issues than the rattlesnake.
So then what?
So then I'm thinking, man, you never want to hurt one of your dogs, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness,
What did I just do?
what did I do? And it's that, oh, you idiot, why didn't, and how do you know? I mean, everyone I've ever talked to, I mean, I guarantee if you were to check all the guys that are out here, 90% of them are carrying Benadryl. 90%. That's what happened. I mean,
yeah. It's interesting. I actually had a listener. So maybe a month ago, I was talking to George Lyle, one of my buddies, and he does a lot of dog training. And we talked about this exact scenario because one of his dogs got bit last year, and he had Benadryl and gave the dog Benadryl and then took him to the vet. And one of the listeners of this podcast actually sent me an email and wanted me to go into more detail about what he believed was the right thing to do. And I've done some research on it. There's a lot of opinions out there, and I apologize that I don't have or know for sure what the right one is. But your vet that you took this dog to, she pumped Spark's stomach, right? Your dog's stomach.
She induced vomiting and then put a charcoal in to help absorb some of that. And like I said, she was really concerned more, I think, with the Benadryl just because of how much I did or didn't give her. I mean, I said half a bottle, but like I said, I knew half the bottle was gone. And realistically, heat of the moment, it was probably, like you said, maybe a third at most. But even at that, I OD'd my dog on Benadryl, I guess.
Yeah.
So we had her, from the time she was bit to the vet in an hour and a half. I mean, that's the good part of.
So what advice did she have for you? What did she say you should have done?
She said, just nothing. Just if you have the vaccine and your dog is vaccinated, bring the dog into the vet, making sure that everything is good there. That was the best scenario. Is that vaccine is the antibody. It's essentially a anti-venom. It's not perfect, but it's going to help build that immunity to that. So she said absolutely the best thing to do is just nothing, which is weird because
that's so weird to hear.
Yeah, and she administered the anti-venom shot or an anti-venom further. I think she did that with an IV and then gave the dog a couple IVs. And obviously, if she was inducing vomiting and stuff, she had to rehydrate the dog because that's anytime you're vomiting, that's gonna reduce your water. So
yeah. I'm probably going to get quite a few messages on this topic because people are going to say, well, what are we supposed to do? What is the right thing? I thought it was Benadryl. Now I'm being told no. And it's, to be honest, maybe that's the next one of the next shows coming up.
Yeah.
And it's something to dig into because I now want to know, right? Yeah. You're obviously, I mean, everything got turned upside down real quick then.
It went from this is going to be a kick butt day to oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, please be okay, and you can do everything you can, but you still don't know till you see the dog, because like immediately you could see once we got back here that I was applied pressure on the bite and I was getting Winston's, and she was starting to be not herself, and that was the concern. And
it's getting real. It's getting more real every second.
So,
yeah. And the scary part, so once you came back, I mean, so I'm standing here with my cameraman, and obviously you couldn't go in the building because of COVID, so we can't go in the building with you. So we stayed back here and just kind of waited, and the thoughts crossed my mind that I don't remember ever crossing my mind. And one of them was, and Kyle, our cameraman, he said the same thing too. He goes, is it really worth going back out there for a bird? To go back out there and have that risk again? So I've got snake gaiters on. Kyle, our cameraman, has snake chaps on. And even still, I just had this uneasiness that I've never had before. I have to imagine it was the same. I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit afterwards, but what was your thought driving back from the vet without your dog?
I was thinking, why did this have to happen? Because I really love it out here. I mean, like I said, this is, when I die, part of my ashes I want right here. I mean, this is a great spot. It's a great place to just, like I said, detach and just get away.
Have you ever seen a snake before yesterday?
Not while with dogs on the ground, and that's at least not not with them on the ground. I've seen them off the truck and stuff, but that was the first time, and hopefully the last. I never wanted to see one again.
I hope you don't. I hope I don't either, because that sucked.
Yeah,
that really changed the joy that comes with being out here and enjoying the open space and watching a dog work. Because I'll tell you, we eventually convinced ourselves to go back out for the sunset walk last night.
Yeah.
And it was kind of one of those things where we needed to do it, right? We had to just... It was either we're going home.
It's one of those things are you going to give in or are you going to keep going? Because are you going to let it ruin what you love to do? You could easily do that. Or, hey, it's a freak thing. You've prepared, you've done what you can. Let's just do it. So we grabbed the Spark sister and Sage and went out and stomped around, and you know what? After watching her run, I was like, okay, it was calming to me. I mean, I felt like, okay, I'm just focusing on this dog, and we're just, I wasn't thinking about it as much.
Really? Because when we started walking, and I guarantee you, Kyle, our cameraman, it's different for him. He's working. He's out. I mean, I love this. I'm working too as my job. I'm here to produce a television show. But this is also my passion in life too. He's here to produce a television show.
Yeah. And
he knows that there's potential to walk on a rattlesnake. So he's like, just like in the back of our minds, there was this really uncomfortable uneasiness. And for me personally, I never want to put anybody in a position where they're not comfortable. So we had the conversation while you were out too. And I'm like, Kyle, are you okay going back out there again? Because if you're not, that's okay. We don't have to do that. And we both just kind of sat on it for a while and didn't really say anything. But I will tell you, when we started walking out there yesterday, the joy of watching a dog work, I wasn't paying attention to the dog. I was watching every step in front of me.
You were.
I was.
I was still watching the dog. Just not say.
It's in the back of my mind, right? It's in the back of my mind, and it was such a
heart stopper. Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's like, it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me when I've been hunting. Period. I've never had any.
Yep.
I mean, I've had a couple nicks here and there. If you have a dog, you're gonna deal with
something,
cuts or minor. I mean, there's things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the cuts, it's going to happen. And this was just, like I said, I've never had it happen, and I never care to have it happen again. It just.
Yep. So we, temperatures upper 80s yesterday, 87, 88.
Yeah,
so we got back out about 5:30. That was it for the morning. It was about I don't know, however long it took us to get 2 hills from our camper and back here. That was all the time we spent until about 5:30 last night. So we got back out there, and man, this prairie is special because it didn't take long for our focus to go where it should have been this whole time, which was on the incredible number of birds that were out there. But they just weren't playing the game very well last night.
They were being wild birds. That it's part of the joy of hunting them. It's just like, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. They're 200 yards and they're getting up in front of us, and they weren't in like super sparse cover. I mean, they were in nice cover that should have held them,
right? Because
there wasn't a ton of breeze. There was a nice light breeze. Days that I dream of.
Yeah, what do you dream of? Because you talk about this a lot. I mean, I've hunted with a lot of hunters all over the country, and some of them are like, just walk. We just need to walk. Follow the dog. But you're really you're looking at specific areas, and you say, no, we're not going there till 10:30.
Yeah,
no, we're not going there till that's enough. And what's going on in your mind on where you're? It all looks to the average person that's never hunted out here before.
You're probably
It's
sitting there
rolling
going,
hills.
is this guy crazy?
No, I knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were doing. I wasn't in your head, but I'm a detail guy.
Yeah.
I'm here to find success, and I pay attention to details. That's just how I'm wired. So I knew when you were explaining things, there was a reason behind it. But what goes on in your mind on where you want to be and when?
So I keep a hunting journal. I
Yep.
actually was going to bring it, but I left it there in my truck.
That's not a truck.
Sorry, the ambulance.
Correct.
If I could give anybody advice, if you want to be successful at this, and
that's what we're all about,
birds,
right? Yeah.
is journal it, man. Pay attention. I run a Garmin Alpha. I take waypoints. I mean, I keep track of when and where, what temperatures. Like when I get my best bird, like when I have my best dog work is when we've got these, the warmer days, a light breeze in your face. Generally, the birds are going to hold tighter because they're just like us. I mean, it's hard to. Were you not hot and tired after we got done walking yesterday? I know I was.
Yeah.
You just have to watch the dog, make sure you're keeping her wet or him wet, and just really pay attention to that. And I've had a lot of really good bird hunts in that hot weather. Ideally, 65 is nicer to hunt in, but
I was surprised when you said I want to hunt in the heat because most people don't, and I think really our pace kind of made a lot more sense once we got out there because we went really slowly.
Yep. Don't just take your time. Don't. Yeah, this thing is you have to watch. You can overrun a dog real easy in that heat. You just have to be smart about it. Just call him back every 4 or 5 minutes. Make him drink just a 1, 2, 3 shot of water. If you see him getting hot, just hey, stop. It's okay. We got to take 5, 10 minutes. Let you cool down. Pay attention to that stuff, and you can be successful doing it. But if you talk to anybody that is a successful sharp-tailed or prairie chicken hunter, kind of pay attention to where you're shooting them, time, dates, like what the weather's like. They're cyclical. They like to be in that same spot. We were sitting on that ridge this morning, and I was like, was it 8? Was it 9 o'clock?
Yeah, we did. We'll get to
I'll
today.
get to that.
'Cause
sorry,
things get real juicy here. Actually,
I skipped ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. Actually, this is a great opportunity to take just a quick halftime pause and a message from our title sponsor, North Dakota Tourism. They want to remind you that the bird numbers, just like we experienced and we're about to tell you about, the bird numbers in North Dakota are also on the rise. Their annual roadside counts for this year are now in, and here are the stats. Pheasants observed per 100 miles are up 38%, sharptails are up 54%, and Hungarian partridge are up 45%. And with an estimated 4 million breeding ducks, up 18% this year, North Dakota's central region is prime habitat for both hunting waterfowl and upland birds. Plus, North Dakota has more than 700,000 acres of private land open to public walk-in hunting. For the latest plots guide, visit the North Dakota Game and Fish Department or legendary.com. Have you ever hunted North Dakota?
I have not.
What?
No.
Whoa. Seriously,
No.
You've hunted all over the country.
That's one of the. I guess I shot a couple of pheasants there that were on a commercial shoot for Shields. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, So did I hunt? Not really, but I have harvested a
North Dakota pheasant.
a pen bird.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's your role at Shields?
I am an assistant store leader. So
Which one?
What?
Which
or in
store?
Sioux Falls. I'm out of Sioux Falls. So
Okay, gotcha. How long have you been there?
I've been there for 18 years. So it's been a great run. Enjoying every day.
Why do you like it there?
So we're out here doing this. This is essentially my job, is to be in there helping customers find out what they want to do. Give advice, give some tips. I try to give them the best advice without telling them exactly what to do, so you can make them successful and give them the best information you can.
Yeah, it's more rewarding when you get to experience it by going out and learning, right? I mean, that's my opinion. I just find the reward so much sweeter when I work hard and figure it out. So yesterday, getting back to our hunt, we got out there and we're watching Sage lead the charge. Spark is at the vet, and the vet said, if you don't hear from me, that's good news. If I call, it's because something happened.
What's going on?
So your phone was held tight to you the whole time. I know that. We walked out there. the vibe, the excitement from our initial first walk of the season was nowhere to be found. But we all kind of just quietly walked out into the grass, and we made it. We probably went like 300 yards, maybe 400 yards, and then all of a sudden, it got real.
Yeah.
It got explosive.
Just started, fortunately, like right away, if the wind would have been in a different direction, but to get to where we had to go, we had to have the wind at our back, and sage squared up, and bumped a couple 2-3, and that 2-3 turned into, I don't know how many birds we saw.
I figured I started as we were walking, and I was talking to Kyle, who's, following our every move and trying to capture it. Live birds are the hardest thing to document for all the TV shows we do. Just for them to be there and see a flush, it helps when a dog goes on point, obviously, but still, you don't know where it's going to come from. Anyway, so I'm always talking to him, and I got to the point where I was saying, okay, Kyle, we've gone about 150 yards. Get ready because I expect more to come, because that was the pattern. About every 150 yards that we would walk, more birds kept coming up out of the grass. But the only problem was they were about 150
yards in front of us. It's like, and so then you run up there, like, I told, I was like, hey, kind of, when you bump those coveys, get there, because there's always one or 10. Those were even getting up. I mean, it was like we couldn't buy a bird yesterday. I guess we did get.
So it was pretty cool. We actually were watching. I think I was counting them as they were flying over the hill, just soaring away. There was 9 of them, and all of a sudden to the right, you go, whoa! There had to have been 50 birds in that covey, and they flew just up over this hill, and we're like, we have to at least check, right? Yeah. We have to see if they landed on the backside of the hill. So in a roundabout, long journey to get to this point, we come over the top of the hill, and what do? They all fly away. We're like, oh, dang it. And we went up there, and like you just said, get up there, because you never know if 1 or 2 is going to sit. And finally, we finally got a bird in the bag about, it was the golden hour. Yeah, it was about 35 minutes before the sun hit the horizon.
6:45.
Yeah. Did it feel a little, I don't know, was it bittersweet to you?
Yeah, it was. It was just like, okay, that's why we're out here. That's the, and it's frustrating, but it's also fun because you see the potential in all those. I mean, it's one thing when you're out grouse hunting, and anybody that's a grouse hunter, or even a bird hunter, when you've just walked and walked and walked and you're not seeing anything. At least we saw stuff, so your heart was going the whole time.
It was pretty constant. I think we hunted about an hour and a half last night, and I would guess we saw. Well, what do you think? How many birds do you think we saw?
150 to 200, I mean.
That's kind of what I was guessing. Is that normal for out here?
That's good. I mean, that's definitely good. I would say better than normal.
Okay. So this morning we get up, and the wind was just, it was a fog. It set in, and I remember I said, what are we going to do today that's going to be different, that could get us to close that extra 75 to 100 yards that we need on these birds? And you're like, I don't know, we just gotta go on.
Yeah, just let her buck, find out,
Right. But it's so funny in hunting that you can, we went to different, we took a different route, and we walked different grass, but it could have played out the same way had we gone back to where we hunted last night, but it was just a polar opposite. We took Trump, your dog, and every bird just wanted to sit tight for us. Yeah. I even had one scare me that got out of the grass right underneath my feet. Yeah. And this, I think, is why you come out here. I get it. I see it. And it was special. How many birds did we take back with us?
6.
That's the limit.
That's the limit.
That's the limit. And we could have taken
it's a mile and a half walk back to the campsite with an open gun, which I'll never complain about having to do it.
No, it was just one of those picture perfect. So we went from just, is it terror or fright?
That's the worst day I've ever had.
And then to the hunting. Today, and we literally are stuffing a bird in your pouch, and the phone rings.
Yeah,
and the vet.
It's crazy. Like if swear to God, not reenacted. That was the honest to God, and picked the bird up.
Yeah.
I put it in my pouch, my phone rings, and then it's the vet saying, hey, everything's looking pretty good. They just wanted to do one more run of blood work at after dinner, and then we could go pick her up. And I was like, thank you, just
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God, and just she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get attached to your bird dogs, sorry. I'm human. They're my kids. They're my best friends. They're pretty much everything to me. And to have that happen, you're just like, no.
I think you yelled no, no, no.
I did.
Yeah. Anyway, we hunted with Trump today, and that dog is special.
Yep.
All of your dogs are the same breed. So what breed do you have? And tell us about Trump.
So they are all Gordon setters. And I've got a few, I've got 4 out here with me, and Trump's my senior dog right now. He's 13 and a half, so he's fun
That's
dog.
a career.
He's I was like, I wish you could have seen him in his prime today, because hey, he's a shell of himself. He's a 13-year-old dog. If anybody, the dog didn't run very big. Well, it's because he's 13, man. He can trot and he can use his nose. Other than that, I don't care. He'll tell me when he's done. When he's done, he's done. And you saw him get ready. He was jumping up and whining. He's like, oh, we're going to go.
He was a kid at heart this morning.
You could see it in his eyes that he wanted to go. Just, hey, I'm not going to tell him no. And he still got it. It's not what he was, but he's still pretty darn good. He just can't cover ground.
He covered it just fine. He pointed several birds today, and then he'd go over to him and get a mouthful of feathers, and you could tell he would bring them slowly back. And towards the end, he was kind of walking about our speed.
Yeah.
And we were just going as slow as we could walk to let him stay ahead of us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he would kind of just. I'm envisioning that he probably had this beautiful posture when he would go on
just
point.
Super tall, like head high, tail. Gordons generally don't have a 12 o'clock tail. He's I'd say about a 10 o'clock tail. So nice high tail for a Gordon, and just fun, gorgeous point.
I would say he was like an 8 or a 9 o'clock tail today, but it was still, he stopped and he'd say, guys, hey, you might want to check this out. And each time he did, birds got up. It was pretty cool. And for you to watch that this morning and just, watching the whole circle of
I had a lot of fun watching you shoot the couple birds. And it's just like, in the interview yesterday, you were asking things. I was like, what's the one thing you could give advice? And it's just slow down. Just can't, it's fun to just watch that. Just slow down and just, okay, just take this in. Mm-hmm. You don't know. When that dog's young, you're not thinking about it. Now, like today, it's like just take it in, take it in. Just he's still got it, and that's fun.
Will you hunt them all year?
Well, I hunt him like on a walk like today, or grouse hunting's hard because you're going to be in that 3-4 mile. I'll take him on a couple once we get into pheasant season, a couple shorter walks, and it's got to be the later cover. So once we get into like the later season, it's harder just because
they want to be in the cattails.
They want to be in that hard cover, and that's just it. It's too hard on him. You could see tonight when it's jumping up into the bed, I'm having to pick him up because he's sore, and I gave him his pill or his glucosamine stuff and supplement and that'll help him a little bit, but you can tell he's hurting, but he was still having fun. You could see it in his eyes that he was like, yeah, I still got this.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Yeah,
he was proud. That was it was pretty special just to watch you two out there, knowing just. In human terms, he's a 90-year-old out there hunting.
Yeah, almost. I think he's got to be close. Was it 13 and a half? So times, he's close to 100 right now. So,
what does that dog mean to you?
Everything. Yeah. He's been my best friend for every bit of those years. We're two peas in a pod. He's a fun dog. So the hardest part of all this is just knowing, hey, like I said, slow down. And just if I had to give advice to anybody, just slow down. Just take it in, enjoy it.
Yeah. And I think, we did that today, and it was nice to do that. We weren't rushing. Yesterday was chaos in every form.
Yeah.
Today was the exact opposite. We walked out of the field by 10 o'clock this morning, and we just relaxed a little bit. And it was kind of just a nice, I think we all appreciated just that time to just sit, watch the grass blow sideways a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight we made, oh gosh, it used to be called pheasant wraps. My buddy George Lyle taught me this recipe years ago. We've talked about it on this podcast before. We actually filmed a little video that we're putting on our Facebook page, and probably our social media director will throw it on Instagram too. But it's the recipe on how we made it. And the birds eating out here, and we harvested them this morning. We prepared them. And it's just, we watch the sunset out here, and it all comes full circle, right? I don't know. I mean, if you're in the bird hunting, that would be difficult to beat. There's different views, right? This is a prairie, shortgrass prairie, and the wind right now is blowing by, and we get to experience it one more time tomorrow before I pack up the bird camp and move on. We've got a few more adventures coming up. I'm excited about all of them. I'm actually going to try to do most of these podcasts on the road, because I think we're living this right now, right? Why would I not want to do it? What advice do you have for other hunters that might say, well, now they're going to say I'm not coming because there's snakes, but
yeah,
I mean, if somebody wanted to come out and do this hunt, what's your advice to them?
Plan. Get a snake vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, I'm really glad I've done it.
Call a vet.
Call a vet. Yeah, call a vet. Like I said, I've never seen one out here, and the guys I knew that kind of pointed me this direction, they've never had that issue. So, hey, whatever. It happened there. But other advice is just don't give in. Just keep pursuing. And the hard part with grouse hunting is when we hunt pheasants, usually you have an endpoint. I'm going to run this strip and it's going to stop, and it's going to be a quarter mile, half mile, whatever. Kind of an endpoint. With this,
a lot of times you put somebody at the end there to stop.
With this hunting, it's okay. I haven't seen anything for 2.5 miles. There's another ridge. Do I walk to that ridge? I really don't want to. I'm miserable. I'm hot. You need to walk to the ridge. Just keep going. And that's the fun part too, is you just walk. It's, hey, which way direction should we go? I don't know. Birds got up that way. Let's go that way. See what happens.
Yeah. Well, I've hunted sharp-tailed grouse in many states, and I've never hunted the grasslands here. This is my first time. I think probably for me, the biggest surprise was just everywhere we went, there were birds. And we did, I would say, 2/3 maybe are really young birds. So I think that's, a sign of a great hatch this year. We got some really nice adults as well. So the population seems really healthy out here. I think today we saw in our, again, maybe 2-hour walk, we probably saw again another 100 birds, something like that. And it was cut short because we had such great success. And that's about...
It's good when you get to cut it short because you're done hunting. Yeah, you've got your birds. That's the best part.
It really is. It really is. So it's been a good hunt. Today I should say today was a good hunt. It's been a life-changing hunt. I will never forget this experience. Obviously, we're gonna turn this into a television show. We still have another day of hunting yet, and I'm excited for people to see your life out here, the mambulance, right? Yeah. And also this this resource that's open to the public. Season runs now until when?
January 4th, I believe.
But didn't they extend that?
I don't know if that's for
grouse.
I don't know if that's for grouse. I know pheasants through the 31st now.
Right. How do you feel about that, by the way?
I'm all right with it. If you look at winter survival rate of birds, those roosters will chase the hens off the scrapes. When we get a lot of snow, so it doesn't take a lot of roosters to make a lot of roosters. You need a lot of hens to make a lot of birds. So the more hen survival you have, if you have 5 roosters that make it, great. They can do everything they need to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know a few people that have some great property out here in different states too, and the last weekend of the season they have a get together and they get as many guys as they can and they try to shoot as many roosters as they legally can off of their property because they want those hens to have first dibs on everything, and they just know that if a couple roosters survive, they're going to be set for the following season. So yeah, it's kind of my thought on it too. I know some people might say, well, that's too much pressure and there won't be anything left, and I think they're going to be surprised to find out that might not be the case.
And the other thing people have to understand is that how many people are actually going to be out in January. I mean, yeah, there'll be some people, but
I probably will. You?
Yeah, I will, but
yeah.
I mean, we're different. The average guy that hunts, I mean, if we catch a nice day, yeah, but if it's 5 below, I'm not going to pressure the birds on a 5 below day. I'm going to be smart about it.
Yeah. Well, back to the grasslands here. One last question. If there's one little nugget that you can pass on to somebody that's coming out here that wants to hold a prairie chicken or a sharp-tailed grouse in their hand, what would that be?
Every year, come back every year, just their first year.
Anybody?
Yeah. Pay attention to wind direction. Get on top of the ridges. Kind of look for sparse cover. Don't be, if you're just a pheasant hunter, that's okay, but get out of your natural. Okay, hey, this looks like good cover, because you have to think opposite of that. It's not. These birds aren't in pheasant cover generally. They're going to be in more sparse thinner grass.
Yeah, it was interesting because there was a piece of the grass that had been grazed over, and to the average hunter, it probably didn't look like a place to go, and that's where you wanted to be.
And we only saw 30 birds get up. I mean, it's just
and a damn snake.
Yeah, and the snake. That.
Yep. I'm sure we're going to be talking more about it. I'll do more research on my end. I'm guessing there are some experts that are listening right now that can tell me a little bit more information on Benadryl or no Benadryl. And I think right now it's still fresh, right? We're still learning. You were at the vet. I wasn't able to go there and speak with the vet because of COVID, but if I would have been, I would have been writing notes. What do I need to know for the next time that could potentially happen? So maybe you want to call your vet before you go on a hunt. If you're in anywhere that there could potentially be a snake, and that's a lot of the country, outside of, very rare chance you're going to see one in Minnesota, probably in North Dakota as well. But here, right now, yeah, it's real. It happens, and it happens really, really quickly. We have quite a few trips coming up. I'm going to be back in South Dakota again next week. Then I'm going to be in North Dakota. Then I'm going to be in Montana. So I hope you'll tune in and keep coming back. Hunting season is here right now. It's exciting time to be out and about. I'll try to get you information from different parts across bird country. But again, everywhere that I'm talking to hunters right now, everything is trending upward, and
it's going to be a great fall, man. There's birds that we had, we came off those wet years, so a lot of that low-lying area didn't get tilled up because they couldn't get the equipment in there. So there's a lot of more nesting habitat. So
right. Any place that you're real excited to hunt this year? Any birds in any region?
Maybe Iowa.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good there.
You might as well be giving me a wink right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's something about shooting birds where you cut your teeth. That's where I learned how to hunt, and
going home.
Yeah, going home, and I think even across, and you get into eastern South Dakota, around we had a great hatch, so there's going to be birds to be had.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I'm hearing the reports similar in other parts of the country too. Once again, I want to thank North Dakota Tourism for helping us to make this show possible. To bag your limit this fall in North Dakota, visit legendarynd.com. And also want to remind you that our episodes are airing right now on the Outdoor Channel. They will be every week from now until the end of December. You can watch them Monday, Tuesday, Friday, or Saturday. And as always, if you have questions or ideas, or you just want to talk hunting, you can find us at theflush.tv and our social media channels as well, Instagram and Facebook. I'm getting messages from a lot of you daily. I do my best to respond as quickly as I can. Sometimes, I don't know, I don't have service always where we end up hunting, so it may take a couple of days. Be patient, please. But I enjoy hearing from a lot of you. I'm already seeing a lot of photos sent my way from people having a lot of success this year. So I hope that continues. And we will be back next week with another episode of the Flush Podcast.